Lightning strikes at Albany-Saratoga. The champs return to form at the Fonda Speedway. We take the white flag with a driver taking on a new challenge in 2015. I don't know about all of you, but I've been waiting way too long to get this started. Race Pro Weekly starts now. Hello and welcome to a brand new season of Race Pro Weekly. I'm your host, Mike Warren, as we continue to give you the racing action the way it ought to be covered. Last season at the Albany-Saratoga Speedway, the Jersey Jet Brett Hearn dominated from the get-go. Would he be able to do it again as some invaders made their way in for the opener? The modified opener at Albany-Saratoga Speedway would be led to the green by the 99L of Larry White as they made their way in the early going. Peter Britton on the move along with the 91 of Billy Decker and Keith Flack as well, but the top two, Larry White and Brett Hearn, would be at the front of the field in the early going of this one. It wouldn't be long until the Franklin Flyer would slide to the outside to get around the number 20 of Brett Hearn as the caution would come out for the J&D Waste Equipment, car number 14 of Brett Wright. Off of the restart, the 91 of Billy Decker would look to take the position as Ronnie Johnson would give a challenge to the number 20 of Brett Hearn. Hearn would dig to the inside of Decker, trying to take that spot away, and now Decker would go to the inside, trying to make a move on Larry White for the race lead as they continued to push through this modified feature event. Decker will continue to hold off the challenges from the Jersey Jet of Brett Hearn. However, this time as Decker would catch a rut and he goes up and over, ending his night a tough break, ending a really tough opening night for the 91 of Billy Decker. He would be okay, but he would be a retiree from the event. Off of the restart, Ronnie Johnson going to go top shelf where Mama hides the Thin Mints to get around the number 20 of Brett Hearn and take the spot away. He would be your new runner-up driver. However, Brett Hearn would have some trouble. He would be a retiree from the event. That would set the stage as Ronnie Johnson and Larry White would race for the race lead, as now Johnson would move to the top side to try to take the spot away, and he does as he goes right around White. However, a lap later, Ronnie Johnson catches the rut, and that allows Larry White to drive right back under him on the inside. Lap traffic would be a factor before this one would be all said and done, as Larry White would take it up way into the loose stuff on the top side to get around a bunch of cars, as he would lap all the way up into the top 10. Ronnie Johnson would have a few last-second challenges to try to catch up to the Gypsum Sailors Express car number 99L, but it wouldn't be enough as Larry White picks up the opening night win at Albany-Saratoga.
We were just riding around. Ronnie showed us the nose and was able to make a move, but we were fortunate enough he lost the nose in lap traffic, and we got back by him, and then we were able to hold on to it.
The Lightning Larry White will pick up the victory. Ronnie Johnson finishing in second. The Sand Lake Slingshot Kenny Tremont third. Mark Johnson finishing in fourth. And Batman Peter Britton would round out your top five. Last season, Stuart Friesen was the man to beat at the Fonda Speedway, picking up another point championship while winning plenty of races. Will he be up to the challenge to take home the win on opening night? Bobby Varon in the 00 would lead the field to the green in the first feature event at the Fonda Speedway in the 2015 season. Danny Varon and Mark Keselowski would look to be on the move in the early going, along with the Apollo Rocket Josh Hohenforce, as the car goes around in turn number 4 just in front of the Cow Palace, and that will put a parking lot, which will bring out the caution for the first time. Meanwhile, off the restart, Hohenforce would get the jump on Varon as they headed up into turn number 1 and 2, and at that time, Jeremy Wilder would try to make a move on the inside of Varon, but get caught on the inside berm, giving him a lot of front-end damage on that number 24 machine. Off the next restart, Bobby Varon would slide back into the race lead and get by Hohenforce for the position, as now a three-wide battle between Mark Keselowski, Brett Hearn, and Jeff Rockefeller. And here comes Stuart Friesen using the outside lane, as you see Billy Decker trying to get in there as well, as Friesen was on the move in the early going. Friesen would go to work on the outside of the T-Rex Express of Danny Varon to try to get him, and then up topside getting by Jeff Trombley, no problem, as well as he kept using that outside lane to his advantage. Father-son battle at the front as Bobby and Danny Varon riding in spots number 1 and 2. Hohenforce would go back around him on the outside lane as Friesen was still there lurking in spot number 4. Farron would slide underneath Hohen Force for position and slide right up in front of him as Friesen tried to go to the inside and tried to take the spot. A caution for Brian Gleason would set up another restart where Stuart Friesen would shoot right around the outside lane to get by Hohen Force and Danny Farron. Farron would battle back and get right by him to take that number 2 spot away and try to go to work on his old man once again, but Bobby Farron was up to the challenge. Friesen would try to make his way on the outside lane to get by Danny Farron again, and he would do so. He'd take the number 2 spot away, and now heading into turn number 3 and 4, Friesen dives underneath Bobby Farron as Farron has trouble leading the race, as that would end his night in the Dover brake machine. From there, Stuart Friesen would pick up where he left off a season ago as he would pick up the win on night number 1 at the Fonda Speedway.
Awesome race car. What a great crew. We worked on this thing. We had some problems there in the heat race. You know, we had a fast car. This team is just second to none. These guys worked so hard on this thing for me, and I appreciate every bit of it. It's just a great team effort.
Stuart Friesen would pick up the victory. Danny Farron would finish in second. Jeff Trombley coming home third. Brett Hearn fourth, and a good bounce back for Billy Decker after Friday night as he would come home fifth. It's time now for our Facebook fan poll question. Knowing how tough of a winter we had, when do you feel the racing season should start? Log on to our Facebook page at www.facebook.com/RaceProWeekly to chime in with your answers. There's only one place in the Capital Region for you to get the full racing action. Stop down at the Bobco video booth at the track or call 518-399-0937. Bobco Racing Video, the next best thing to being there.
The action, the battles, the excitement. Get ready for 800 horsepower of ground-shaking racing. The Super Dirt Car Series Big Block Modifieds are coming to your town. Be there to witness the mighty Big Blocks.
The Big Block Modifieds are returning to Fonda Speedway for the new 2-day high bank hold-up. See the Super Dirt Car Big Blocks and Sportsman Series kick off their season on the 3/8 mile high banks. 2 huge days, Friday and Saturday, April 24th and 25th. Fulton Speedway, County Route 57, Fulton.
It's not something you choose, it chooses you. It's something you're born with. It's a passion that consumes you. Being an outlaw is not for the weak. Being an outlaw is in your blood. Only an outlaw can survive a grueling 90-race schedule. 40,000 miles on the road, going from track to track. It's not about being posse or all-star. It's about being an outlaw. Only the best can call themselves outlaws. I'm Darren Pittman, World of Outlaws STP sprint car driver, and I'm an outlaw.
This season, a brand new series makes its way in called the King of Dirt Series for the Sportsman division, with many of the heavy hitters between Albany, Saratoga, Lebanon Valley, and Fonda going for the title. Who would be the one to strike first? The inaugural King of Dirt Sportsman Series will get started at the Fonda Speedway as it would go up into turn number 1 and 2. Greg Havlicek with the lead, but here comes Rocky Warner to the top side in the West End towing machine as he would barrel around the top shelf and take the lead. Cars on the move, Whitey Slavin in there as well, along with the 84 of Ricky Quick, as they tried to make their way up through the field, along with the 18 of the Flying Onion, Tony Ferrone. Caution will come out as Dave Constantino and Adam McAuliffe get together on the backstretch, and off the restart, the driver on the move would be the 14 of Chad Edwards. Edwards would slide into the number 2 spot, getting by Havlicek as they make a little bit of contact through turn number 3 and 4, all this behind Rocky Warner. Josh Sun and Adam Pearson running for position in the top 5, trying to run down the race leaders as Cody Blue would still be on the move as well, along with Matt Papa and Tony Ferrone. John McAuliffe would try to make his way up through as well, but it would be all Rocky Warner out front as the Flying Squirrel takes the win. Rocky Warner would grab the victory to open up the Fonda Speedway season and the King of Dirt. Chad Edwards would finish in second, Adam Pearson third, Josh Sun fourth, and Robert Bublak would round out the top 5. Cousin Luke Horning and Kim Duell going to lead the field to the green in the opener for the Pro Stocks at the Albany-Saratoga Speedway. Duell will take the early race lead as early in the event. The car on the move would be the 87 of Walt Brownell as he would slide into the number 2 spot, getting by the 2H of Cousin Luke Horning. Cars would be on the move, including Rob Yetman in there, along with Dan Older, as a side-by-side battle for the lead would then ensue as here comes Brownell to the inside as Duell pushes up the racetrack a little bit. That allows Robbie Speed to get by per second, and then he would go around the outside of Brownell and take the race lead. The Mellonville Missile would be your race leader as cousin Luke Horning would slide into the number 2 spot but make contact with Walt Brownell, sending him inside the berm in turn number 3 and 4 in a right rear flat tire on the 87. Off of the restart, cousin Luke Horning would have trouble as he'd get loose and head just outside the pit entrance, as that would allow now Rob Yetman to crack the top 5, as crazy Kenny Martin would be on the move in that new hot pink machine as well. Meanwhile, a battle for the lead as Byron Westcott goes underneath Robbie Speed for the lead. He would get the spot, and at the same time, the RCT Roofing, number 27 of the Manimal, Nick Stone, has a right rear tire, a tough break for that RCT entry. Meanwhile, off of the restart, Robbie Speed would hold on to the race lead, but Byron Westcott looking to do whatever he can to get by him, and Norm Lubier at the time being holding on to a strong third-place run. Westcott would then move underneath Speed, looking to take the race lead away, and the 00 is gone to the front. Kenny Martin and Bernie Companion side by side down the back straightaway, looking to crack the top 5 as well, as Kim Duell holding on, and now Lubier gets a little loose, and he makes contact with the outside retaining wall on the front straightaway, as that would bring out the caution once again. Off the restart, Westcott would still hold it as now Martin and Companion will split Kim Duell, but it was behind the 00 as Byron Westcott picks up the win. Bernie Companion would finish in second, crazy Kenny Martin would finish in third, Kim Duell would be fourth, and Cale Neer would finish in fifth.
What are your goals for this season?
I would like to get at least as many wins as we had last year. We had 5 wins last year, but track championships always in our goal for Albany-Saratoga, and just to keep the car clean every week and be competitive pretty much.
Well, last season we had a real good runs, and I just like to do the same, keep the wheels on the car, and finish out in the top 5. You know, it's tough racing with all these crate guys. There's so many out there, so many good drivers, and you know, that's about it. I just like to finish in the top 5 every week.
Our goals are to have fun this year. We want to be just be a nice, consistent runner at the racetrack, but overall, it's just to have fun.
Win the track championship at Fonda Speedway.
Well, this season's going to be quite a bit different, but we'd like to get another win at Malta this year. That would be really nice. A couple would be even better. And then we're going to Lebanon Valley this year, so that's going to be a huge change for us. So down there, we're just hoping we'll be competitive.
This season, we're just going to go one race at a time like we have the past few years. Just go. Main goal is going to have fun. Obviously, everybody's goal is to go and win, but just be real consistent. We're looking to run with the CRSA club a lot more this year. Their club is coming together really, really strong. They're very, very competitive. I look forward to racing with them more this year.
Well, my goals for this season is hopefully win the 2015 track championship and beat out Stuart Friesen this year would be nice. But I'm really looking forward to getting that first modified win.
I would like to finish top 10 in points at Fonda. I wouldn't mind getting another win there. And I wouldn't mind finishing, top 7 in points at Glen Ridge as well.
It's a foregone conclusion that this year's Niska Golf Tournament will be the best yet. Put a team together and plan on joining us on May 14th at the Mohawk Riverview Golf Course. It's now time for our Berkshire County Network Driver Spotlight with modified competitor Brian Berger. Performance, quality, service. That's DMC Racing Products. Hundreds of name brand parts, competitive prices. That's DMC. DMC Racing Products. Race to win. Some of the music you've heard on Race Pro Weekly this week is by AJ Jansen, Country's Rebel Rose, bringing you a mixture of high-energy rock and sultry country roots. To hear more and for your free download, check out ajjansenmusic.com. Of course, just like each and every year, the DIRTcar Nationals down at Volusia in Florida would get started, as Billy Pouch had a little bit of a tough run, but not as tough as this number one car. This was talked about all week, the ride that Tyler Dipple took down the front straightaway. He would be okay, but that was wild. A lot of close battles. Larry White and Stuart Friesen getting into it a little bit, as Friesen would take a tough night during the week, but I think he'd be okay too. As Brett Hearn, Stuart Friesen, Rick Laubach, and the upset win by Neil Williams during the week would be your feature winners, and Lightning Larry White taking it all, getting the big gator at the end of the day. Little street stock action quick as Fonda as Dick Nichols goes up and over after losing a wheel on the back straightaway. Tough night for him in the early going. Meanwhile, the King of Dirt Pro Stock feature event at the Fonda Speedway would see Pete Broderson grabbing the early lead in this event. A lot of three-wide battling as cousin Luke Horning, Nick Stone, and the 87 of Walt Brownell in there, as well as Jim Normoyle and Rob Yetman fighting for position. 4 wide for the race lead here once again, and now Broderson would take that spot back as all 5 cars trying to fight for the position. Cousin Luke would go to the outside lane of Broderson, but Broderson would shut the door coming out of turn number 4 as he would keep the race lead for the time being. Right behind them, Walt Brownell still trying to get by Horning on the inside. He makes contact with Broderson while running with spots number 1 and 2 and sends Broderson around, and somehow nobody got into the 53B machine. Off of the restart, that would set the leader to the 27 of the Manimal, Nick Stone, as he would go up to the top side, and meanwhile, Robbie Speed would kiss the turn 1 outside retaining wall, which would give him a lot of damage and send him almost spinning up in turn number 2, sending him back a number of positions. That would be all she wrote, though, ladies and gentlemen, as Nick Stone would pick up the first King of Dirt Pro Stock Series win of the 2015 season. The Manimal starts off the season on a high note at Fonda with the win. Rob Yetman would come home in second. Jimmy Normoyle would finish in third. Dean Charbonneau fourth, and cousin Luke Horning would round out the top 5. In the street stocks, Dave Horning Sr. would grab the victory. Jason Samaroff would finish in second. Neil Kosselman third. Wayne Rupsha would finish in fourth. And Dick Nichols bouncing back for a top 5. The 4 cylinders, the nightcap at the Albany-Saratoga Speedway, as Stevie Ryan would have the early lead, as the defending champion would have a little bit of a challenge from the Honky Tonk Saloon car number 8 machine of Todd Goldstein, as Goldstein would go underneath him to take the race lead with some pretty creative lights on the front of that thing. Meanwhile, Kenny Stager would try to get involved as well, as he would go to the outside of the Pro-Built 4 machine to take the number 2 spot away, and at that time, Goldstein would catch a rut and lose a little bit of power up at turn number 2. He would pull into the infield, and that would end his night. Now the battle was on between Steve Ryan and the 128 of Kenny Stager, as Stager would be your race leader for the time being. Flip in turn number 3 as Dan Older Jr. would have a little trouble. He would walk away no problem, and this would set the stage for the final lap. Stager would be your leader at the flag stand, as Steve Ryan would pull underneath him on the back straightaway, even nose out ahead, and take the lead. However, here comes Stager on the outside in turn number 3 and 4, and he would hold on to pick up the first 4-cylinder feature of the year. Stager would grab the win. Stevie Ryan would hold on for second. Dave LaBarge third. Mike Perotti fourth, and Ben Grant would round out your top 5. Other winners on the night, Rocky Warner would grab the win in the Sportsman. Anthony Alger would grab the win in the Limited Sportsman, and Matt Mosier would take the win in the Street Stocks.
Race Pro Weekly is brought to you by Bob Hilbert Sportswear, Racing Electronics, Emmerich Associates, Tranquil Touch Healing, New England Racing Fuels, and Sunoco Fuels.
Out here, seconds mean everything. That's why, in here, we work so hard to shave them. When a second matters, science matters. Mobil 1, energy lives here.
The Choices 301 program takes a multifaceted approach aimed at educating the public about the realities and dangers of what can happen when bad decisions are made inside a motor vehicle. Don't hesitate to designate. If you are a tracker series that would like to be highlighted on Race Pro Weekly, email us at show@raceproweekly.com. Throughout his entire career, Josh Flint has been an up-and-coming race car driver just going out there to have a little fun. But this year, he wanted a new challenge. Race Pro Weekly's Andrew Beedig stepped up to the plate at the Fonda Car Show this year to talk to him about what he plans on doing this season.
I'm Andrew Beedig, here with Josh Flint. Josh, how hard was it only racing one race last year?
It was pretty hard. I was tied up with the police academy, so it really wasn't in my control. But at least one time was something to do, and had a lot of fun doing it.
Why did you decide to start racing sprint cars?
Sprint cars is actually really where I've always wanted to be. Modified was kind of a family thing, something we had experience in, so we stuck with what we knew, but I'm off to try something different.
Where will you be racing this season?
We're going to be following the full CRSA Sprint Tour, so we'll be at Malta, Lebanon Valley, Fonda, all over New York State, Middletown a few times, so it'll be a good experience.
Who helped make this deal happen for 2015?
Well, luckily with me, I've had some great sponsors that were with me with the modifieds, Haney Reels and the Shop Auto Detailing that stuck by me, and they decided if I wanted to go with sprint cars, they were going to go on board, and CRSA Sprint Group, and they're a good bunch, so they've all kind of helped me out.
What do you think will be the biggest difference in racing the sprint car over a modified?
I'd have to say the speed, and then getting used to the car laying over on the left instead of the right, and being able to drive so deep into the corner from what I've been told.
It's now time for our NISCA Performer of the Week award, and with his 3 wins this past weekend, the Flying Squirrel, Rocky Warner, will be our first recipient of the 2015 season. Rocky is now eligible for our Performer of the Year award for 2015. That's all for this week's show. For the latest news, results, and photos, check out Race Pro Weekly online at www.raceproweekly.com, and be sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram. So for myself, Matt Knowles, Bobby Chalmers, Fast Eddie, Scott Morlock, Amber Chalmers, Dave D'Alessandro, and everyone that helps put Race Pro Weekly together, thank you for watching this week's episode, and we'll see you next time.